Hello to all of my imaginary, or maybe I should say cyber friends. Happy BFCM, or if you haven't seen Hank Green's latest Hank's channel video, happy Black Friday Cyber Monday. As Hank points out in his latest video, Cyber Monday is crazy. Every year, the Monday after Thanksgiving, it erupts into a digital shopping frenzy we call Cyber Monday. The original idea was people would go back to work on Monday and shop online, so retailers started offering flash deals, discount countdowns. It's basically Black Friday with less unaliving and more Wi-Fi. But have you ever stopped to wonder why cyber? Why not Online Monday or Digital Deals Day? Why does cyber, a word that sounds halfway between sci-fi and computer jargon, mean internet shopping? As Hank pointed out, cyber seems like a relic from a promised but unfulfilled future. So that got me thinking. I looked up the word cyber to find out what it means, and it turned out to be short for the word cybernetics. When I looked up cybernetics, it didn't seem at all like it was related to what I thought it would be. I fell down a rabbit hole, and now I'm going to describe that to you, my imaginary or cyber pals. From Cyber Monday to ancient Greece, the surprising history of cyber. Well, we will take a journey back in time, peeling away the layers of meaning until we reach the surprisingly ancient origins of the word cyber. Spoiler, it's all about ships. Today, cyber just means anything digital. We have cybersecurity, cyberbullying, cyber cafes. Not anymore. I don't think anyone's going to cyber cafes. We have cyber attacks. This meaning exploded in the late 1990s and early 2000s, right as the internet was hitting the big time. Marketers saw Cyber Monday as the perfect way to capture on the abudge of the emerging online term and the developing online world. But cyber wasn't always about computers. In fact, its modern digital meaning has a very specific origin story. The man who gave cyber its digital meaning was William Gibson, the novelist who coined the word cyberspace in his 1984 book, Neuromancer. Gibson once joked that he invented the word because he needed something that sounded like it meant something, but actually didn't. Ironically, it ended up meaning everything digital. In Neuromancer, cyberspace was a consensual hallucination experienced daily by billions. Basically, a poetic prophecy of the internet and VR. Much more on the internet side, a lot less on the VR side nowadays. So the source of Hank's concept of the promised future that we never got is this concept from Neuromancer. Cyber Monday should be more about traveling in the virtual world, but now it just kind of means going to a website and taking part in exploiting workers and the environment to get cheap stuff. One of Gibson's visions mainstream was cyber. It now means futuristic, digital, networked, hacker, technological themed, and that's the meaning of Cyber Monday inherits. But before that, cybernetics and cyber was all the rage in science fiction. The term cyber entered pop culture through the cyberpunk movement of the 1980s. Think rain-soaked alleyways, neon signs, flickering hackers jacked into networks, cyborg mercenaries. That was the whole aesthetic. And then a little bit before that, there was the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. And cyber had its meaning strongly rooted in robots. There were cybernetic machines, cybernetic animals, cybernetic servo mechanisms, cybernetic thermostats. This was an area when the term cyborg was coined. Cyborg just means cybernetic organism. And so this was coined in the 1960s by Manfred Clynes and Nathaniel Klein during a space exploration research. They imagined astronauts whose bodies could be partially machine regulated, mechanical breathing, feedback-controlled hormones, temperature-regulating implants. Science fiction embraced the concept and instantly went wild with it. But the time RoboCop and the Terminator arrived, cybernetic meant human-machine hybrids, or cyborgs. In the late 1940s, a British neuroscientist, Gray Walter, built tiny robot tortoises with sensors and primitive feedback loops. They wandered through, seeking light and recharging themselves. People called them cybernetic creatures. Kids loved them. Philosophers were in a panic. It was the first time that a robot seemed to have a mind of its own. Before the invention of these robots and these self-regulating machines, cybernetics had to do with control and communication. The real word of all these meanings comes from the American mathematician Norbert Wiener, who coined the term cybernetics in 1948. He defined it as the science of control and communication in the animal and the machine. Cybernetics focused on feedback loops, and the same principle behind thermostats, guided missiles, animals' nervous systems, early robots. All of these things were getting feedback from their environment and were able to control themselves. It was the intellectual backbone of these early theories of machine intelligence that Wiener didn't invent the word, he borrowed it from Greek. Cybernetics comes from the ancient Greek verb kybernous, kybernao, meaning to steer, to pilot, to guide a ship. And originally, kybernos had the meaning also of guiding the state. So you could be kybernetes, a helmsman, gubernator in Latin, the governor, which is where we get our English word governor for him. So, Arnold Schwarzenegger, cyber in two senses of the word. He was the governator in Latin, governor, and, a cybernetic hybrid, human hybrid. You got to give him that he is the essence of cyber. And then we have the little word cyber, traveled from the Greeks' helmsman to mid-century robots through neon cyberpunk dystopias into the digital world we shop in today. We started with a simple act of steering a boat, became steering the wheel of our entire technological imagination. If you enjoyed my rambling and want to be one of my imaginary or cyber friends, please hit subscribe. Thanks. See you later.